Hi everyone, welcome back to History Hobo Plays TimeGuessr. We had a great round yesterday. We were on for a personal best until I threw it away on the last round. Hopefully we can improve on that today. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos. Let's get into the game. Okay, here we go. Off the bat, we've got a woman holding a very long baguette, so that makes me think we're in France. Let's have a closer look. Definitely carrying some wine or something of the sort. That definitely is a long baguette. I think you're supposed to hold it by the plastic bag. Can't really see much language in the background. This doesn't help me at all. Can I read any of these? No. This is very blurry. It's going to be very tricky to pinpoint, but obviously Paris is the logical guess, but it could be anywhere in France. I know the French love to have a daily baguette, so it's pretty much common everywhere. The cars in the background are interesting. They're old, so this is definitely, I would say maybe pre-World War II. It's hard, I can't see the front of the car, and usually I use the front of the car to place my time. Yeah, this one is a bit clearer, but it's not excellent. I think I can't really spend much time on this because there's really nothing that I can get out of it. Other than Paris is what I'm going to go with, just because it's France. Well, it might be somewhere else that's not even France, but with the baguette, I think I can't do anything other than that. So we'll go south of the river. And the year, I'm thinking it's late 30s, early 40s. Well, it wouldn't be early 40s because that'd be World War II. And obviously, France got kind of hammered in World War II. So I was thinking maybe like 38 or something like that. Very difficult to tell based on these cars. We could lose a lot of points. I don't think they look too boxy to be post World War II. So I might drop it down to 37, 36. Really wish I could have a clearer view of these cars. I think I'm going to change it to 37 and stick with that. We'll go for it. It was 45, it was post World War II. It was in Paris though, so we didn't lose too many points. We're definitely not on for a personal best today already though. So a French lady walking through Paris with a baguette and 6 bottles of wine. So it was wine. So if I'd had a clearer view of the front of these cars, I may have guessed 40s, but that era is quite tricky. Let's go to the next round. Okay, I have a location I immediately know. This is the Hajj, that's what it's called in Saudi Arabia. Obviously where the Muslims go to perform the Hajj or do their lifetime pilgrimage. Living in the UAE for 4 years, you used to see this on TV quite a lot, but I already knew about it, and I do know it is in Mecca, I believe, so we should be able to pinpoint the location quite quickly if I can find it. Go to Saudi Arabia. Mecca is up here, isn't it? Is it? I always forget where it is. I thought it's up this way. Give me a sec to find Mecca. It's not in Riyadh. There's Mecca. It's near Jeddah. Okay, that makes sense. And can we immediately, let's just go to the satellite view. We should be able to see the Hajj place from above. I would assume it's this. Yes, here we go. So we're somewhere here. We can kind of work out where we are based on, we have these 3 domed roofs, which are here. And we're looking across the area, so I would say we're actually about here, pretty straight on with it. It's a massive place, obviously, so but that looks good. Now the year is going to be very difficult. Really don't have many clues here, other than this guy's watch, possibly. Looks quite modern, but doesn't really make a difference. We have the taller buildings that have been built around it, which you can see here and here, so it might actually be fairly recent just by the fact that we have some of these taller buildings, because a lot of these were built quite recently. I know a lot of people aren't happy with the amount of build-up going on around Mecca, but the Saudis just like to splash some cash, so what can you do? I don't think we're going to get any other clue on the year here, so I don't think we could be 2024. It's quite possible, but I think I'm going to go 2018, just to hedge on the earlier side a little bit. We could be, if we're 2024, I'll be annoyed, but let's go for it. It's 2003. There was no way of telling that year. Not that I can see anyway. You haven't got any cars, no phones, no nothing. So, perfect location now. So it's a good round. This is an interesting one. We've got what looks like a guy being either taken to hospital or is he being strapped to something? I'm not really sure. Is this an accident from a horse race, possibly? I think it may be. Just the fact that there's all these guys in suits, they look like they could be attending a horse race. It looks like England, and it definitely is England based on the police hats. So I was thinking maybe like the Grand National, something like that. Can't really see any other clues than that. I will need to think a moment just to remember where the Grand National is actually held. Let's go into England and have a look around. Isn't it Aintree? Where is Aintree? I'm not sure. I really don't know where this is. We've got Braintree, that's not the right one. It's somewhere in this area, I would say. Or maybe up this area. I don't think it's too far south. I'll go have a quick look around and see if it jumps out at me. I'll fast forward this or skip it if it takes a long time. Well, I can't find it. I have no idea. I know Aintree is. Well, I think that Aintree is where the Grand National is held, but I really don't know where it is. It's somewhere in this region, possibly. It's nowhere further north than here. This is my end of the country, and I would know if it was up here. I think we'll go somewhere near Birmingham. Just to hedge in the middle, obviously being the Midlands. Could be further south, but this might not even be the Grand National. The year is going to be very difficult. I'm looking at these kind of caps again. That makes me think we're in pretty old. I know in the round we had the other day in America, these caps were quite common then, and that was 1918. So does that put us in 1918? This kind of wheel makes me think it's pretty old because we haven't got like the technology. I don't know, like spoked wheels. It makes me think like they might even be using horse and cart, and there might not be many cars around at this time. This could be a bad guess, but I'm going to actually go the same era. I think I'll go just after World War II because I don't think they would have ran the Grand National in World War II. I mean World War One. Keep getting those mixed up. Yeah, there's no other clues that I can pull out here. A lot of people wearing boaters, these kind of hats, I believe are called a boater. Trying to see, there's mostly men in the crowd. This woman's got a fancy hat, but that's pretty common at the races. But her dress looks like it might be that old style dress from this era. We'll go for it, 1920. I don't have much hope for this. It was 1913, so it was pre-World War One. The jockey who fell after the suffragette Emily Davidson threw herself in front of the king's horse being carried. I've heard of that. Yeah, I didn't think about it, but it wasn't even at Aintree or the Grand National. It was down here. Which race course is this? I don't even know. I'm not really into horse racing that much. I've been to a couple of races, but I don't really know. It's Epsom, is it? Yeah, Epsom. Okay, location, didn't lose too many points. The year we did, could have gone earlier. So these hats, definitely a World War One era thing. But which side of World War One's always a bit of a hedge, really. Okay, now we have Churchill. Clearly is Winston Churchill. Although, is he in England? We have white police hats, which is odd. I don't recognize them. And this kind of hat looks more American. It's very strange. The least restaurants. Background looks like it definitely could be Britain, but is it a British colony? I think given Churchill's age, I would say we probably are just post World War II. Everyone seems to be very happy to see him. So I would think we'd probably be around like 45, something like that. Is there any other clues? This camera's pretty old. Just trying to see whether it is a colony or not. These look like Mounties. Are they Canadian Mounties? They very well could be. I think I might have to go in Canada based off these guys' outfits, because that is not something you would ever see in England. So he may be touring after World War II, touring the colonies at the time. I'm not sure when Canada had its full independence, but it was still part of the Commonwealth, at least it still is today. So I think we're going to have to go Canada. The least restaurant, do we have French or English? The least could be anything, but restaurant is a common word between the two. I don't know how well celebrated he would be in Montreal, so I think I'll have to go Toronto. Being Canada though, it's such a big place. If he's in Vancouver, we've lost a lot of points. If he's in any of the states, of any of like Manitoba or Alberta or all of these kind of places, we're going to lose a lot of points, but let's go for it. 43, and we were in up here, which is where? I don't even know what city that is. Sometimes it is. That was Winston Churchill tipping his hat at the crowd at Conference Hall, the City Hall of Quebec. So it was French Canada. The year was good. Location lost a lot of points. Last round. Is that Jeremy Corbyn? I think that might be a young Jeremy Corbyn. Just looking at him. Defend the rights to demonstrate against apartheid. Join this picket. So again, we're in the UK. I would say we're in London just based off the buildings. And that looks like a young Jeremy Corbyn. If you're American, you probably won't know who Jeremy Corbyn was. But he was the opposition leader, the leader of the Labour Party for quite a while. Much derived for his old school Labour politics. He wasn't a very popular figure among the other politicians. I didn't mind him too much. But some of the things he said were idiotic. And he's no longer in the party. Well, if he is, doesn't hold any position of power anymore. But let's see. Okay, so I would say we're definitely in London. There's no way you would have any kind of protest like this other than in London. So we'll go near Parliament, really. It's probably the most logical place. We're going to go around this area, just near. I'm not going to spend any time trying to pinpoint this, although it might be possible to pinpoint. I'm not on good enough score to do it. We're going to be shy of 40,000 points if I get this year wrong. It's very difficult to pinpoint the year. I'm trying to think how old he looks here. He looks like he's probably in his mid to late 30s here. And I don't know how old he is now. He's probably about 70, something like that now. It's not maybe late 60s. So it might be in the 90s here. Oh, if it's against apartheid in South Africa was early 90s, I think they got rid of apartheid around the Mandela times. So I would think maybe 93 might be a solid guess. Yeah, let's just go for it. 84, that's the year I was born, I should know that. Say, former leader of the UK Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, being arrested at the picket line. So it was an early protest against apartheid. If you're South African, you can correct me on when apartheid was actually abolished. I'm not 100% sure on that one. This will be something I should learn, really. But so our final score, 38,000. There's some definite tricky rounds in that one. Let's have a quick look at the breakdown. Yeah, that Montreal one, or the Quebec one, very difficult to get the location. The Mecca was easy location, but the year was almost impossible to get that. It was just a random shot in the dark. The Paris one, again, wasn't too bad. We were a few years off. The location was good. And the The horse racing one, I should have known that because I have heard that story before about one of the suffragettes throwing herself in front. Sometimes I get bogged down in the image and try and forget to think about like the political significance around the picture or the historical significance. I should aim to do that a bit more. Let's add this into our spreadsheet as we've got a bit of time. Let's see, and as one of my viewers pointed out, I can paste the format, which is very useful. So thank you very much for that suggestion, so I don't blow up the image when I paste in a large number. So our average is still hovering around 41,600. It's okay. We had some good games the past few days, but these have really dragged us down. Let's see, we want to get a big run like this again going, but we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you again. Bye.